Welcome, Bobcat Nation, to another edition of the Coach's Corner. This week we have men's and women's head golf coach, J.D. Lamm. J.D., good to have you, man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Coming off your first Mountain East Championship event. We'll get into the specifics of how the teams did. An historic weekend, but just, some of your perceptions of your first championship event back in West Virginia.
It was a great experience. Overall, I think both teams definitely did well. We blew away what we were projected to do. So I think we came in as a bit of a surprise to all the other teams. But as you know, the men finished third, the women finished second. The men played well, especially the last day. I'm really proud of how the men finished. I think we counted 272s and 275s. So for us, that's pretty good. Room to improve, obviously, but I'm very happy with how the men did. Being able to put a finishing round in like that, grind it out, says a lot about the kids for sure.
You made the move and came to within, I think, 16 strokes of the top school. The Wesleyan's men had never finished, since we went to the Mountain East, had not been higher than sixth, in the championship, the championship segment in the fall. The significance to get third, and then I want to talk about some individual play. So I know there were some specific highlights there.
Again, it was just proving ourselves to people. Most people in the conference didn't really know what kind of a team we are. Obviously now they have a little bit of a hint that we're back in the game. The commissioner, Reed, was kind enough to come up to me afterwards and congratulate me on bringing Wesleyan back into contention on the golf side of things. So that meant a lot. It was very kind of him to say that. So we're here, and we're here to play.
I think one of the watershed rounds over the 3 days was Nick West, popped a 69 out there on day two, and then you had Chapman and Snavely came back, and he had a rough start, but he came back with a 72. The resilience of those two guys, but just how some of those rounds unfolded for you.
Nick West 69, he didn't miss a shot pretty much. I mean, it was unbelievable. There were a couple putts that maybe he underread a little bit, so the 69 could have been a 65 pretty easy, but anytime you play golf, you can always say there's shots out there that we left behind, but it was fun to watch. I mean, ball striking wise, it was very impressive. I think it's the best round he's had in competition so far here at Wesleyan, so extremely proud of him. And again, when a kid's playing that well as a coach, your job's pretty easy. You basically just sit back and watch, and that's about it. But like I said, the overall team score of the third day is probably what I'm most proud of on the men's side for sure.
With all those guys, some young guys in the bunch. Before we get to the women, about the future of the men with that group you have.
Yeah, so Nick's the only one graduating. So 4 of the 5 that we've started all fall semester are coming back next year. Hopefully I can do my job and replace Nick, but the future looks bright. I mean, we've got a lot of good players. Each of them have a few little tweaks that they know they need to make. Short game needs to get better for everybody across the board. But the fact that we're putting up these scores with such a young team says a lot about us. I mean, Colin Chapman, Zach Chapman, freshmen that pretty much made a normal appearance this fall at all the tournaments. So we've got a little ways to go, but the future looks bright on the men's side for sure.
Okay, flipping gears to the women, this was overall history. We had never, we've had some third place teams 3 different times, had never had a runner-up team. But, first the history to do that and make, the highest finish ever. but also I know you all were flirting with making a run at the top spot there that last day. If you can speak to that.
Yeah, we were. I guess I'm a little bitter about it still, but I'm proud of the girls. I'm proud of the girls. They did great. Obviously, to do something that's never been done before in the history of the program is a big deal. After 9 holes on the last day, we were 7 shots back of the lead. So we gave it a run. Colleen Grooms, the coach at Notre Dame College, came up to me afterwards and said, "You're scaring me there for a little while." So I said, "Good. I'm glad I was scaring you." But no, I mean, again, another example of a young team. We have 3 of the 5 girls that are freshmen. We're not graduating anybody. So we've got a lot of good golf ahead of us. Hopefully we can turn that second place finish into the title next year and continue to go on from there. So everything's going the way I've planned it, if not better so far. So again, same story though. We don't want to settle. We're never going to settle. We need to get better. I've already sat down with the girls and the guys after the tournament, and I congratulated them and told them how proud I am of them, and I am absolutely, but I also said we can't settle. We got to get better.
Was it the consistency? Because all 5 girls had at least one big round or a couple big rounds. I know, like on the men's side, you know about how single it's almost dead even. But it's just the consistency. Was that the one little piece that kept you from taking the top spot?
Yeah, I mean that's a big deal. Again, single on the guy's side is kind of a coach's dream a little bit. You just know that he's gonna shoot somewhere between 72 and 76 pretty much every time. We don't really have that quite yet on the girls' side, but that's because of how young you are. That's something that comes with experience. And again, starting three freshmen out of 5 spots, we'll get there. Just these 3 girls need a little bit more collegiate tournament experience under their belts. Again, they know what they have to work on. Lag putts got to get better. We got to eliminate the 3 putts, and we got to think our way around the golf course better. So we improve those 2 things, and that'll be a big deal for us. So we definitely have goals that we can work towards over the off season to get better.
Well, it looked like, this is one of the things you preach is following the live scoring through the years, seeing the rounds that the girls did, that they seem to mature in that if they had a bad hole, it didn't become a train wreck, that they were doing a better job of getting things back on.
Yeah, they'll probably laugh when they see this interview, but I kind of have this same speech that I give them every single time, and it's almost gotten to the point where it probably annoys them, but it's so true. I mean, every shot, no matter whether you hit it good or bad, you need to be able to reboot your mind after that shot, okay, and start over, okay? Whether it's good or bad, one shot at a time. If you're not giving 100% of your effort into that next shot and forget about the previous shot, you're not giving that next shot its credit. So the fact that they can improve from that previous shot, or they can forget about that previous shot. Maybe after 100 times of me saying it, they're finally starting to get it. We'll see. I'll keep saying it for now.
Well, about coming back, and I know it's the Mountain East, and your dad played in the old WBIEC, but in the forerunner of this league, and he was on some championship teams in that program with Coach Carney's over at Glenville. Just what it means to you to be back here, in this area, in this league, performing where your dad was a star.
Oh, this is a big deal, for sure. I was at my grandparents' house this weekend, and my grandparents talked a lot about it. It's nice that they're able not only just to follow what's going on, but to be able to relate with what's going on. They know the courses. My family knows the school, knows a lot of the people. My dad and Bill Lilly at Glenville are old buddies, so it's nice to be kind of in a place where my family knows, everybody knows what's going on.
Now, I'll tell you what, congratulations on a great tournament. Proud of you here. Great future for the program as well. Thank you, Jake.
Appreciate it very much.
Till next week, Bobcat Nation, we will see you.